إنك لا تهدي من أحببت ولكن الله يهدي من يشاء.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah amma ba'd. Welcome guys to another episode. Alhamdulillah, I haven't been posting for a long time, but bi'idhnillah I hope that it's going to be more consistent. Today, alhamdulillah, I have someone I've been chasing for many months now. And finally, we're doing this bi'idhnillah, and is our brother, Fontain.
Assalamu alaikum, bro. Okay.
How you doing?
Alhamdulillah.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, good to see you, bro.
Good fit. So, like I said, I've been trying to do this with you for the idea came to me about 5-6 months ago.
Yeah.
And I thought, how am I going to get Fontain on this? But then, alhamdulillah, we met on 8, if you remember. I did Eid al-Fitr, and then Abu Isa, we got introduced, and we just started talking, got numbers, and alhamdulillah, now it's finally happening.
Alhamdulillah. I've been seeing you on the famous vlogs with some fluffy shoes.
SubhanAllah, yeah. What can we say, Sheikh? What can we say?
Alhamdulillah. And the brother from...
Alhamdulillah, that was a very nice trip, by the way.
Yeah?
Very nice trip, by the way. We really enjoyed ourselves, and hopefully people benefited, people, liked it, and I hope it was balanced, bi'idhnillah, But, like everything you do in life, there's always ups and downs. There's only people that are going to like it. People are not going to like it that much as well. And but alhamdulillah though. But anyway, let's just get into this interview bi'idhnillah.
Yeah.
So I got a few things down. So first of all, I know you spoke many times about your conversion to Islam, coming to Islam. If I remember, you said it was in Senegal, I believe.
Yeah, I went to Senegal.
Okay.
And before Islam, I went there on business.
Okay.
So yeah, that was kind of the first place I got introduced to Islam.
Okay.
Heard the adhan and things like that. Yeah.
SubhanAllah, when I think about it, is very, for me, far-fetched that a Caucasian brother will find Islam in Africa. Usually, when you have white people, it's usually in the West. If you're from UK, or America, that's where it is assumed that you find Islam.
Yeah.
Let's push it a bit to the Middle East, but Africa is very rare.
Yeah, when I was 18, I went to Senegal and Sierra Leone. I was doing business at 18 years old.
SubhanAllah, that's very early, mashallah. Traveling all the way to another continent at 18, that's mashallah.
It was a bit scary at the time, but alhamdulillah, because you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I had a lot of misconceptions about Africa. I thought it was dangerous. I thought I'm going to get kidnapped.
SubhanAllah.
I needed to make money, so
of course.
I went to Africa.
Okay, so how did that come about? Was it how did you?
Well, from a young age, I was working in like a club.
Okay.
And I became a singer, and I was saving a lot of money. And then by the time I was 18, I started doing business with some Sierra Leoneans and some Nigerians.
All right.
We were working in Manchester. And then, I sent some cars, and I was studying diamonds as well.
Okay.
So at some point, I needed to go to Africa.
Yeah.
So I was actually traveling to Sierra Leone, but the only way to get there at the time was to go through Senegal. So that's why I ended up in Senegal.
Okay.
I was there for like 2 weeks.
Not looking for Islam, nothing like that?
No, I wasn't interested in religion at all.
Yeah,
I always believed in something. I always believed in
superior
God,
being.
But I never believed in religion.
Okay.
But yeah, Senegal's nice.
SubhanAllah.
It's a beautiful place. The only issue for me, not for you, is they speak French.
Yeah,
I know you speak French.
I'm
Cameroon.
Alhamdulillah, yeah. So the actual contact with Islam, how was that?
Yeah, I mean, well, what happened? I've said this many times, but I was a bit stuck because all my money was tied up in business. So I went to the hotel and I stayed there, and then I spoke to the hotel manager and I told him I don't have any money.
SubhanAllah.
I'm broke.
Yeah.
I'm going to Sierra Leone next week for a few months, and then I'm going to come back and I'll pay you. And he said, no problem, come to my house. And he was a Muslim. Mamadou.
Yeah.
Momo.
That's for like Muhammad.
Yeah. Mamadou and Momo, he was called. A very nice brother, mashallah. And his mother and sister and brothers, they're all Muslim, mashallah. I went to their house, I stayed with them, heard the adhan. And to be honest, at the time, for them, this was significant for them.
Yeah.
This wasn't, it was insignificant.
Yeah.
It was just like they were helping the traveler.
Yeah,
They were not trying to convert me. They were not, But subhanAllah, I remember Mamadou, his grandmother passed away
SubhanAllah.
that week.
Wow.
And he was crying, and he said, I said, I'm trying to comfort him on the bed. And I just said, don't worry, she's going to go to a better place. I was just trying to comfort him.
Comfort him.
And he said, I'm not crying because she died. So I'm like, what? And then he said, I'm crying because I wanted you to meet her. Because she's an old lady, she's like 103 or something. I wanted her to make dua that you'd become a Muslim.
SubhanAllah.
And I thought, wow, like, that's all he's crying for. He's not crying,
because
he has in mind that she's going to
Inshallah,
to Jannah, inshallah, because she's a Muslim. And, he was just, he was thinking about my guidance, basically. Anyway, I didn't think much of it. I wasn't interested in religion at all. So it was like maybe 5 years later, I accepted Islam. But it was a positive introduction to Islam, and then I traveled to more African countries, So
you became Muslim in the UK?
I actually took Shahada in Egypt.
SubhanAllah.
I was traveling there, I was doing some business there. And I went to a mosque. A friend of mine who's a Muslim, he said, I need to pray. So he went to the masjid.
Yeah.
I said, can I join you to the masjid? I'll just sit down. But by that time, I already believed I was a Muslim.
Yeah.
I'd already
So
fasted.
the 5 years was like, some type of,
to be honest,
gradually,
to
getting confused.
be honest, the 5 years, I got into a lot of trouble. In them 5 years, I was doing wrong things. I was a bit misguided. Them 5 years were not. They were enjoyable 5 years, but they were not. They were not a good 5 years. I got into a lot of trouble in Africa and England, and I mean, things could have worked out very differently. I mean,
SubhanAllah.
I nearly went to prison. I've never really said this
SubhanAllah.
publicly, but I nearly got into a lot of trouble, and. SubhanAllah, Allah protected me from this, and I ask Allah to protect me, and I'll become a Muslim. I asked Him, that if you help me with this, I will work for you.
Okay, so that was the contract they did basically.
Yeah.
If
this is why I do dawah. It's like
SubhanAllah. That's
it's something I dedicate.
And I mean, with this intention, that's something that is going to stay with you because it's like you owe Allah. Like He did this for you, and you just have to do it right now.
Yeah.
It's just like it's binding for you right now. SubhanAllah.
And He's assisted me in doing dawah, especially in Africa.
Yeah.
So
I'm actually going to come to that as well. The dawah in Africa, how the passion and the inclination that you have for the dawah in Africa, does that come because of the first contact you have with Islam, or is it like just a normal kind of attraction that you have for Africa?
Because like from the age of maybe, I would say 17, I was around a lot of Africans.
Okay.
Before 17, my friends were from different places, maybe the Caribbean or Pakistani, a few Pakistanis.
Many Africans.
But yeah, from the age of 17, what happened is where I lived, it used to be a very white, racist area. And then what happened is about 15 years ago, a lot of Africans started moving in from London, like Sierra Leoneans, Nigerians. So I started meeting them, working with them, doing business with them. So that's how I kind of came in touch with Africans. These were not Muslim Africans.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just feel at home in Africa and with Africans.
So it was
I know Africans very well. Especially Nigerians, Sierra Leoneans. I feel at home.
So it was like a natural kind of inclination.
Yeah, for me, it just, I fit.
And plus the first contact with Islam was in Africa as well.
Yeah,
so
exactly. That was the biggest
sense.
thing. Africa gave me Islam.
SubhanAllah.
And people don't know about Africa. They think
it's
it's a joke.
Unfortunately,
even in England, a lot of people are racist towards Africans. Not just white people. Black people as well are also racist towards Africans.
Yeah, towards each other.
And also, and you think Africa's a joke, but it's not. It's an amazing place, man.
We'll come to that, inshallah.
Yeah.
So you do the contract with Allah, the contract, about getting to da'wah, and you start giving da'wah.
Well, no, like I became a Muslim, and I was, learning how to pray. I was just in the local area in Manchester, so we do like dawah tables. Some of my teachers, my brothers, Dr. Galal, Brother Akram, Brother Salim. These were the brothers that got me into dawah. They we started a dawah table.
Right.
This was before like all the dawah table scene. Like now.
That was very,
You have all the big organizations doing dawah tables, and it's quite a common thing now.
That was a very simple, basic.
Yeah, this
thing.
was like before this was popular.
Yeah.
Before social media. Before all these things, we had a dawah table for years, like 7 years. It was on the streets of Manchester, about six years.
Yeah.
It was on the streets, and we were there every week,
SubhanAllah.
And alhamdulillah, people were accepting Islam, people were learning about Islam. So it was really beneficial.
I think that's also a good look to have a brother that actually became Muslim, giving da'wah to non-Muslim. That's like, that's someone from us.
Yeah.
He looks like us, and what brought him to this religion?
Sometimes, I mean, people think that it's easier to give dawah to your own people or your own tribe. With white people, I think it's a bit different. I think non-white people giving dawah to white people is probably the best thing.
Okay.
And the reason is because, only for white people.
Yeah.
The reason is because white people, when they see white Muslims, they hate it, bro. They see you as a traitor.
You're a sellout,
and
you betrayed us. And
and I found that, alhamdulillah, a lot of people have accepted Islam, but I found that it's not necessarily the white person is the best one to give dawah to the white people. I don't find that.
It's interesting.
I think white people, they don't mind Islam for you black people or you brown people, but it's not for the white people. They'll speak to you, they'll be polite with you, they don't care. But when they see a white person, sometimes they see you as a traitor, they don't trust you, So,
I mean, perhaps it's both ways.
It's from Allah. Allah, guide people however He wills. But that's just through my experience, through English people specifically. So I find that's why I love Africa as well, because giving dawah in Africa, even in Pakistan or different places in the Muslim world or different countries, when they see an English person who's become a Muslim, they're shocked.
Yeah.
They don't imagine English people being Muslim. They're shocked by that.
So the passion for the da'wah in Africa, that's really what I want to talk about. So where did you first visit for da'wah? I mean, you said you were doing business there, but then for da'wah, how did that?
For da'wah, what happened? Oh, subhanallah. You know what happened, right? I decided that I'm going to go back to Sierra Leone to try to help. It was more from an education perspective, like maybe help with schools or mosques or water wells. This was about 8 years ago. So I decided I'm going to take a trip to Sierra Leone. This was, I've not been to Sierra Leone for a few years. I've become a Muslim. So I thought I'm going to go to Sierra Leone and try and find some charity work to do.
Yeah.
I want to give back, basically. They helped me find Islam. I want to do something. So on my way to Sierra Leone again, I went to Senegal. And then, just meeting the old people. And then I drove down, I got the taxi down and the boat over to Gambia, to Banjul. And then, basically, I was in the airport and I was going to fly from Banjul to Sierra Leone.
Okay.
And I met an old man. He was Sierra Leonean. What happened is like a bar in the airport. And the old man, he's a Muslim.
Yeah.
He's got bad legs and he was using the chair at the bar, and then the white lady came out and she's like, "Get out of my bar if you're not buying a drink," sort of thing. And I was really upset, bro. It's like, it was a woman from Holland. A white person comes to Africa.
You're not even from there.
Yeah. You got alcohol in it's a Muslim country.
Yeah.
And you can't even let the old man sit down. You know,
SubhanAllah,
so
in its own
I
country.
basically told her, leave him alone, you know. He'll give you the chair when he's finished with it, you know. And I got friendly with this old man, and he was with his wife. And basically, he gave me his number.
Okay.
And he said, come and visit me in Sierra Leone before you leave. So I thought, okay. So then this whole trip was about going to basically find some charity work. So I went to Sierra Leone for 2 weeks. I was traveling around Sierra Leone trying to find
The good spots.
projects, organizations. To be honest, bro, I couldn't trust anyone. You know, there's a lot of poverty.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult. And I said to my wife, who at the time who I was with, I said to her, we can't do anything here. I can't trust. You know, I can't put money anywhere because it's an amount from the people. You know, so I said we're just going to go back to England. So I said, you know what? Let's go and say salam to the old man who we met, and then we'll leave. So I phoned the old man. He said, I'll come and pick you up. And when he came with a brother I know from England, from my masjid in England. Someone who I'd even done business with before, Ibrahim Janni. And I was like, SubhanAllah, what are you doing here? He said, yeah. He said, my grandfather passed away and I've been left 96 schools.
SubhanAllah.
Islamic schools.
96?
96 schools.
Different schools?
Different schools. There's 26,000 students, Aki, around Sierra Leone under this one charity. He said, and I don't know what to do. I want to do charity work and I'm trying to fix them. And I was like, SubhanAllah. Allah gave me what I needed in Gambia, in the airport. By the way, we was delayed in the airport.
Yeah.
We was delayed for 6 hours. That's why I met the old man. You know, it wasn't, that's why, you know, so you're thinking, why, you know, you're wondering why has the flight been delayed? It's kind of Allah. It was to meet this man. You understand? And me, I didn't go and meet the man until I was struggling myself, running around trying to do it myself. But Allah gave me what I needed.
You find someone that you know from Manchester.
Yeah, and He gave it me in Gambia before I even got to Sierra Leone. It's from Allah, bro. And then I said to Ibrahim, SubhanAllah, this is it.
That's what I needed.
So yeah, this is what I've been looking for. And so since then we've been slowly refurbishing these schools. You know, a few people in Manchester and different places just supporting. It's not that expensive to kind of refurbish a school, like £1,000, £1,500. You can refurbish a school, and basically, when it looks like a bad school, the Muslims stop sending their kids there. They send them to the Christian schools.
Exactly.
And then the kids are raised as Christians. So making the school nice, making it look presentable,
more attractive, and
the Muslims
when the standards are higher, they send us.
So trying to improve the education, it's a very slow process. We can't say we've done it justice yet because there were 3 years of Ebola. We couldn't go to Sierra Leone. We've had a few setbacks, but our intention is, you know, to improve the education in Sierra Leone, basically raise the kids as Muslim, you know, and so that was it. That's how I first went to Africa from it as a Muslim, you know, looking for dawah activities.
But it wasn't even for that, it was from educational.
Yeah, it was from like, I wanted to do something, you know, and then since then I've been going back, doing lectures.
Yeah.
You know, I'll do a tour over 2 weeks. We'll do a lecture every day in different masajid. And over there, because there's no electric, there's no TV, so the mosques are full.
Full. I've seen it.
You do a lecture, there's like...
But the attentive...
Yeah, they're so happy because, you know, people from outside don't come to Africa, you know, so when you come, they're so happy, you know, and they fill the mosque. And there is issues there with, you know, there's a lot of sihr, you know, magic and innovations. But the people are... They're receptive. I found them to be sincere, that when you advise them, they leave these things alone.
They accept it.
You know, they accept it, So that was Sierra Leone.
So you started from Sierra Leone, and which other countries have you been since then?
In Africa?
Yeah, in Africa, of course, yeah.
Well, I also... Nigeria, what's it called? Kenya, Tanzania, Malawi. I live in Uganda now. So yeah, I mean, that's more like East Africa.
Yeah.
Ghana as well. Ghana, Nigeria. Lagos, Abuja, Kano.
Maiduguri. You know that Maiduguri?
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay. But it's a city though there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's towards Cameroon.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
'Cause you're
It's
from
the east.
Cameroon.
Yeah, I'm from Cameroon, but we basically share a border with Nigeria. So in the northwest of the country, in the north, we
Yeah.
share a border with Nigeria.
Yeah.
Maiduguri, yeah.
Yeah. So Africa's good, man. But people don't realize like each country is very different.
Yeah.
Each tribe,
Yeah.
very different.
Versatile is very different.
People think all Africans are the same.
It's all the same.
It's
No
very
question.
different people, different culture, you know.
All right. Now, I don't know. As you said, yeah. People don't really go to Africa for da'wah. And how was your experience in terms of acceptance of da'wah, or being accepted as a da'i?
You know, it's interesting, yeah. In West Africa, I've never had a problem as a white man. You know what I think? I think because the colonies,
Yeah.
the French and the British colonies in Africa, they were never, although they were owned, if you like, if you can say that, or conquered
Yeah.
or colonized
Yeah, colonized.
by the French and the British, they were never ruled by white people. So they got black people to rule.
Yeah.
You understand?
They did the work for them and they were
Yeah,
just
so they
supervising.
never had, they don't have a negative kind of view of white people.
Okay.
It's very interesting.
Okay.
East Africa is different though. It's
Yeah,
not
East
the
Africa is
same,
different,
like,
yeah.
because obviously the white people lived there.
Yeah.
They were
Actually
visible
involved in- yeah.
on the ground, you know. And there is a lot of white people in Kenya that have many generations been living there. You know, people who were born and raised in Tanzania, Kenya, even not so much Uganda, but a bit in Uganda. I don't know, sometimes I get a feeling in East Africa, you know, they see you as the white man. You know, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It's very different. West Africa is like home. They don't have a negative view of white people because they've never
It wasn't like that.
They've never directly experienced racism directly. Obviously, indirectly.
Yeah.
They might not know they're being treated,
Yeah.
you know, but it's very different. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm treated badly in Kenya or Tanzania or these places, but I do get the feeling that it's not the same as West Africa. Yeah.
No same thing.
It's probably a good thing, you know, because look, there's not many white Muslims anyway, so it's better that the people are more standoffish with the white people because they're mostly going to be Christian missionaries anyway.
Yeah.
So you don't want them to be friendly. You don't want them to be too friendly with white people anyway.
That's right.
But when you're a Muslim, Bismillah.
You're more accepted.
Yeah, and alhamdulillah, when they know you're Muslim, that's why I just wear thobe and they know I'm a Muslim.
They can recognize it.
And, you know, there's no issues. You know.
Because in my head, I was assuming, I was thinking, okay, perhaps there could be this kind of like people will be feeling a bit more, you know, different and a bit, you know, we don't really want to get involved with him because he's white and we don't really know what he's about and he might be a spy and he might be doing this and that. He make him.
I've had that in England. People thinking I'm a spy.
That's
white
very
people.
sad. That's very sad.
White Muslims.
Yeah.
You know, to be honest, I didn't really have many white friends. But since I became a Muslim, I've got loads of white Muslim friends now. So,
Well, it becomes like a network, don't you think?
like there's loads of English Muslims and subhanallah, I've got many good English brothers. But when I first came to Islam, obviously people are a bit worried. They don't know if you're police or whatever. At the time when I became a Muslim, a few people had been arrested and set up by the police here in Manchester. So, you know, people were a bit worried. But alhamdulillah, no issues. Yeah, I mean, I've not been to South Africa yet.
Okay.
I mean, that's a different
that's a totally,
story altogether.
That's
you know,
that's going to be very.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what type of reception you get there because there's a lot of Indians.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got the blacks, the whites, you know, and the coloureds. Well, you know, they call them the coloureds. You know, more like people with mixed heritage. But they're all separate and split.
Yeah, it's totally different. Yeah, the apartheid and things like this.
Yeah, and
he did. I'm sure he did.
Like I've got a lot of South African friends from the UK, non-Muslims before Islam, and you know, I know it's a different thing. Well, it'd be interesting. I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I'm planning to go to South Africa this year. Well, it'd be interesting to see, you know, what groups are
Yeah,
going to
the
be
reception,
receptive.
yeah.
You know, so it'll be interesting. We'll see.
So which so now you said you did few countries in East Africa, West Africa as well. Which other countries are you planning to visit? You said South Africa, for example, and
Yeah, this year I've never been to Australia.
okay,
I've never been to Canada. Also South Africa,
Yeah.
Zimbabwe. If I
Yeah.
go South Africa, I'll go to Zimbabwe. Got a lot of friends down there. So I'm going to try and reach to these countries this year. But yeah, I've traveled a lot, you know, over 65 countries or something.
that what
You
takes
know,
you all around the world, to be
Yeah,
honest.
not just Dawah. I mean, even before Islam, I was traveling, and you know, it's not like a holiday. People think
Yeah.
you're traveling a lot. I literally just travel for Dawah. You know, alhamdulillah, it is enjoyable. You know, but sometimes you might go to the desert or
Yeah.
go here or go there sometimes. But most of the time, I only travel for Dawah. I'm just either giving a lecture or giving a course. You know, and I stick to my topics. You know, Christianity, atheism, Dawah, these type of things. You know, and
The only thing, to be honest, as you said, it's not like a holiday, but again, that's where Dawah takes you. You know, if you think about the conquest that the Muslims did, they didn't go there for holidays, but they did visit many places, got very far in their conquest and
Yeah.
reaching out. Settling in Africa, how did that came about? Living there and how you find it? How like why did you move to Africa?
Why did I move to Africa? I was living in Kuwait for a couple of years, and also we just thought maybe to try Africa. You know, some opportunities came up. I actually traveled to Africa, to Uganda about 5 or 6 years ago. We built a Dawah center there with a few different charities based in the UK. And we built a Dawah center for new Muslims. So there's like 50 new Muslims live in the center for like 3 months.
Okay.
They live there. They
Learn about Islam
They learn
and-
all the basics.
All right.
And then they go on another. And alhamdulillah, it's very beneficial. So I'd already been to Uganda. I knew it was a nice place. It's very safe, bro. I personally think that Uganda is one of the safest places outside of the Gulf.
Okay. For me, Uganda, I haven't heard many positive things about Uganda, to be honest.
So
I don't know. Was there like a war there?
Oh, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Idi
remember.
Amin and-
Idi Amin, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
name. That's the name of
But,
it. Yeah, Idi Amin.
bro, it's very safe. The people
Right now
are,
he's there.
the
Okay.
people are peaceful.
Yeah.
They don't. There's little crime. It's not like other countries. You know, it's very safe. You know, it's nice. Good Muslims there. It's like 40% Muslim. Maybe
Okay.
about 15 to 18 million Muslims live in Uganda. Yeah, it's a big country. So you know, there's good Islam there. Kenya's nice. You know, Mombasa, Nairobi. These places are beautiful to live in. You know, good Muslims, good education for the youth. Even the Christians have the same beliefs as us in terms of morals.
Yeah.
You know, they're on the same page morally.
Yeah, morally.
You know, they don't do all what's going on
Yeah,
in the
neighbors,
UK now.
they get to neighbors and they have same principles.
Yeah, and they don't believe in all what's going on in the UK now. You know, trying to mess the kids up in the schools.
Yeah. Very
So-
conservative Muslims.
Yeah.
Not liberal, just Catholic,
In Uganda, mostly Catholic,
Yeah,
so you've not got any evangelicals, you know, trying to convert everyone. But in Kenya, there's some evangelicals, and Tanzania,
Yeah.
you know.
So you settled there and you just...
Yeah,
you
just
feel like
based
home.
there. Based there. That's the home for now. I'm probably going to move soon. Maybe go to Egypt for a while.
Inshallah.
But I think East Africa will probably be somewhere I'll be spending a lot of time in my life. Kenya, these places are beautiful.
So you think it's definitely places where people might want to look into in terms of hijrah? Because I know hijrah is a big topic these days, and
Yeah, I mean,
talking
people
about,
are looking at...
moving out, and many of us we think about Gulf countries, Muslim countries as such, Egypt,
Yeah.
UAE, Kuwait, Saudi.
Of course, the Middle East is great.
Yeah.
If you've got a good education and you're working, it's a good place. You can go, you can have a good life, you can make money. But the Middle East, it'll never be your final destination. It'll never be home. You can't buy property.
Yeah.
You're never going to be fully feel like you're living there. You understand? It's always going to be temporary. So the Middle East is great.
Yeah.
If you want to do 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years in the Middle East, great. But a time's going to come where they're not going to renew your visa.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to go back to where you came from. You know, a friend of mine, he just reached like 60 years old. They didn't renew his visa. He's been there for 20 years, you know.
Wow.
You know, it's like he's got to go back, you know, because he's too old now.
Yeah.
They won't, you know, they don't want him
It's
to
not
work
really
there
needed
now.
anymore. You know,
Yeah.
you did your
And,
time.
you know, subhanAllah, it'll never be your home. The Middle East is good, but it's never going to be the final destination if you're from a different country. You know, Pakistan's good. Pakistan's amazing. Like, I don't know what Pakistanis want to live in England for. You know, Pakistan should be the first place for Pakistanis.
To go back
You know,
to.
if they want to go home. There's many places in Pakistan. Malaysia is an option. Turkey an option. Egypt, Morocco, depending if you can speak French. Senegal, Gambia.
But you would say Africa, Muslim countries in Africa are definitely somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally,
should-
I think East Africa.
Yeah.
It's a better lifestyle than most of Africa.
I think most Black African Muslim countries are more in West Africa, right? Nigeria, not really Muslim, but Senegal, Gambia, for example. These are Muslim countries. Mali.
Yeah, you got.
Yeah.
I mean, Mali is dangerous. You can't live in Mali. If you speak French, Senegal's good.
Yeah.
Gambia is good, but it's very small. It's tiny.
Yeah,
You know, if you're from England, you're gonna find it like a small island.
Restricted, yeah.
But it's nice. But East Africa is a different level. You know, they're more advanced. They're more. You know, the country is far more advanced. Bigger countries. You know, Gambia is 1 million.
Yeah.
Senegal's 12 million. You know, Uganda's 40 million. You know, Kenya's like 50, 60 million. You know, Tanzania again a lot. You know, it's such a bigger place. Obviously, Nigeria is big, 200 million, 150 to 200 million. They don't even know how many. But Nigeria is not easy. It's dangerous in parts.
Yeah.
It's you know, it's not as advanced as like Kenya. You've got all the luxuries in East Africa. Plus, it's a good lifestyle. It's good.
Alhamdulillah. So, have you been to Zanzibar before? Or
Yeah, Zanzibar, yeah.
that's beautiful, I think.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place, yeah.
There's this latest video, I don't know where it was, I think it was Tanzania actually, that you did. Like calling people to like, why are you guys in the UK? You should go back to Africa. Do you remember that video you did? It was like on the beach.
Oh, that was in Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone,
with a
okay.
nice beach, yeah. Yeah, that was Sierra Leone. I mean, Sierra Leone will be difficult to live. It's not an easy country to live in. That's what I'm saying. These countries are good.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you're from the West, it's probably going to be easier to live in East Africa. More luxuries, you know, you've got all the luxuries of the West, you know.
That is in Africa.
Huh?
The luxuries of the West, but in Africa.
Yeah, in
basically.
Africa. The weather's great. It's not too hot in East Africa. But anywhere, bismillah.
So I mean, you know, I think nowadays people are more into businesses and companies and things like this. They see Africa to be the next hub for, like, you know, business and
Africa's always
investment
been a great place, for business.
So I think Muslims should do the same thing as well, in terms of hijrah, and do the same thing, you know, to invest there as well.
Yeah,
look into that out there a bit more as well.
I know it's not possible for everyone to leave England.
There's definitely.
But look, if you start with your intention, Allah can make it very easy for anyone, you know. And you should, you know, you can save money. You can at least have an intention or a dream of leaving. But most people are just not even thinking. They think this is their final destination in UK. They're happy with that. But the sad thing is the kids are growing up with doubts.
Yeah.
The sad thing is in many Muslim areas now, they're not good areas. If you want to live in a Muslim area in UK, you know, the chances are maybe some of the kids are going to grow up as gangsters. They're going to be doing sins, big sins, getting involved in crime, prostitution, whatever it is, zina. Or if they grow up in a non-Muslim area, they're going to be growing up with non-Muslims and they're going to become atheists.
Yeah.
It's like these dawahs don't even exist in certain parts of Africa.
Yeah.
You know,
that's really interesting, because I think Africa right now is a kind of you know, it's just a pure fitra kind of mindset there. You know, people are not really thinking about atheists. You know, it's like for them it's just impossible.
It's an amazing place
for some dawah. Even Christians, as you said, they even those who are not Muslims or Christians, they always believe in some type of superior power, whether it be, I don't know, voodoo or whatever they do. They believe in some type of. So atheism for them doesn't make any sense. Like it's just not part of what they are on.
Yeah. No, it's good. I mean, you know, it's just something for people to look at, and Africa is a great place for dawah. People have to realize every soul is equal, man.
Yeah.
Every soul is as heavy as another one. They think that they're going to get more reward for a white person accepting Islam than some African. No. You know what the Prophet said, you know, if someone accepts Islam through you, you know, it's a huge reward.
Yeah.
That it's not, you know, it's
not
race sensitive. You know, and people are more sincere in Africa. The different countries are different, but Uganda, I found them very sincere and open, and they accept Islam with knowledge. They won't just accept Islam for food or, you know, they will think about it.
Because they're convinced about it.
Yeah, they're convinced about it. Some countries, I won't name which countries, you know, they'll become Muslim very quickly, but they'll leave very quickly. You know, I've been to some villages in Africa, they've accepted Islam 7 times.
SubhanAllah, 7 times?
because they go back. Whoever feeds them the last, that's their religion.
SubhanAllah.
You know, and this is partly the mistake of some of these dawah organizations and charities
Not to do follow-up, right?
Just go and have a load of shahadas, and it doesn't work like that. You know, if I wanted, I could run up in the village and give 1,000 shahadas a day.
Do a video where
I could do that every day.
But
I know it's not. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't send a teacher, an imam, a teacher, take the kids, raise them, it's not as easy as that. You know, when you see these mass shahadas, it's not what you think. It's not what you think. It's not what you think. I don't, you know, you see them in Asia as well. I'm not really a big fan of that.
Yeah, I think that's where the importance of, as you said, following up the shahadas, that's where it comes. And this is a problem that we also have here in the UK.
Not only that, they have to understand what they're getting into in the first place. Not just saying the word, you know, and just to get some food or some clothes. Like, the shahada has to be done with knowledge. Yeah. You know,
that's one of the conditions of the shahada as well.
Exactly. Exactly. If it's not accepted, you know, or sincerity, you know, it's not accepted, you know. Allah knows what's in their heart. Yeah. You still take the shahada from them, but don't expect, you know.
I mean, all of this comes with experience. If you're saying that, you know, that when people leave, they're basically on the religion of the person who last fed them, that's very worrying. Yeah. It's very worrying to not have this follow-up. And that's why I think things like the Muslim Center you spoke about earlier in Uganda, that's very much needed. Yeah. Very much needed. Because you can have people coming, learning about it, and they get convinced. And 3 months, that's a very good period of time to actually learn about it. And okay, I didn't get myself into some type of, you know, wishy-washy thing, and it makes sense. Yeah. There's a substance to it, and they stay for good.
Yeah,
stay for good.
Inshallah. Well, just before we finish, I want to just mention a book that I'm working on. One about atheism, inshallah, it's coming soon. But also one about Isa alayhi salam and the Injil. Yeah. This is about the Islamic perspective of revelation. There's we're just speaking about dawah, and one of the big misunderstandings, especially in Christian dawah, is many Muslims think that we believe in the Bible. Yeah. But it's a separate thing. You know, we believe in the Torah, the Zabur, the Injil. These were books that were given to the prophets. Yeah. You know, the Bible is a collection of writings by people.
Not written, but not
it's actually... it's authored by humans about the prophets. Nah. It's a different literature, you know. So inshallah, in this book, I'm kind of clarifying, you know, the correct details and understanding about this. So inshallah, want the viewers to look out for that, inshallah.
Inshallah. No, I don't know when you come to Cameroon then.
Inshallah, you're going this year, aren't you?
Yeah, with I'm going this year for, as you said, I'm trying to do the same thing because for me, I think the focus needs to be a bit more on the dawah in Africa. That's what I'm looking into right now.
Yeah.
The focus needs to be in dawah a bit more because I think in the West, I'm not saying that it reached the full potential of dawah in the West, but I think Africa has been abandoned a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think there's a really big potential.
Definitely.
And it's the biggest continent.
The only thing with me, I don't speak French. So that is a barrier for me in the French-speaking countries in Africa.
Yeah.
But you've got the French language.
That's an advantage of being,
Yeah, you can start
bilingual.
working on all the French-speaking countries.
Yeah.
Ivory Coast, Guinea, Conakry.
Yeah.
Senegal, there's a lot of Muslims, but
Senegal
there is a lot of
innovations.
Funny business.
Yeah.
But it's still a good country.
Yeah, it is.
Mali, you speak. So you got a lot of countries to.
I mean, for me, I think Africa is a big hub. The da'wah, as you said, accept it, and they really, because I've been there 3 times now in the holiday, and I'm telling you, when I do a class or a lecture, they're very much attentive. Very much attentive. I'm very amazed about it. I'm like, subhanallah, there's a really.
It's good.
They want to learn. Like, please, can you say this again? And they will stay. They will stay and listen to it. We're not saying that doesn't happen in England, but it's a bit different than that.
Yeah.
It's a bit different. People are more open to accept things.
It doesn't happen in England.
Yeah.
That's the point. They're not interested.
Yeah.
I'm not being funny, but it's become dawah-tainment.
Dawah-tainment.
I heard someone mention that the other day. I liked it. Dawah-tainment.
SubhanAllah.
It's like entertainment, akhi. People are not interested in actually sitting down and learning something. A lot of it is just basic reminders, or, and in Africa they want to learn.
They want to learn.
They want to study.
I mean, I think it's all about perhaps bringing more content over there. For example, literature. There's something that's really much lacking in Africa.
Well, that's what I've got my dawah booklets. I don't know if you've seen them.
Yeah, I've seen some of them.
We've been printing them. Alhamdulillah.
And there's one that says like the true message, I think, is the purple one. That's from you, right?
No, for me, I've got the Quick Guide to Islam.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
There's one that's purple. There's one that's
they have different covers.
Yeah,
So Islam-wise printed.
One, okay.
The one with the purple cover, that's Tell Me About Islam,
Yeah.
Tell Me About Allah, Tell Me About Salah. But I've got different covers as well. Same book, Quick Guide to Islam, 99 Names of Allah, etc. Which the Quick Guide to Islam I wrote as a very basic, for non-Muslims.
Yeah.
But it's needed for Muslims as well. And these have been printed. We've been shipping them out all over Africa, all over the world as well. Alhamdulillah. We just sent some to New Zealand as well, because we're getting ready for dawah there as well. So yeah, subhanAllah.
Alhamdulillah, man. So it was an honor to have you, Jan.
It's good to see you, bro. Yeah.
Perhaps we might do another time as well, and hopefully we meet in Africa one day.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
Just let me know when you come to Cameroon, man.
Let me know.
With Cameroon, we have 2 parts. I don't know if you know. There's the French part and the English part. So the English part right now is not very, very safe.
Yeah.
But,
that's the north part.
No, that's the west. That's the west part. Yeah, in the west.
The English part.
Yeah, that's the English part. The west.
Yeah.
West. Yeah. Because
you got Brazzaville
and Kinshasa. Yeah, those are 2 Congos.
So Cameroon has 2 as well.
No, Cameroon is not.
Cameroon's above Congo.
Yeah, it's above. Yeah, it's above it.
So the west of.
So in the west we have
towards Nigeria.
Yeah, we have Nigeria there. But in the south we have.
Yeah.
Guinea Equatorial and we have Congo.
Yeah.
And
because at the moment, because it's kind of also coming into Nigeria as well. This problem. Yeah.
It's kind of coming to Nigeria. Yeah, so
that's where they caught Charles Taylor, right?
I don't know who that is.
The old president of Liberia.
Yeah.
He was on the run and they caught him, and it just crossed over into.
So there's the English part and the French part as well. So I think for the English part you'll be welcome.
Inshallah.
Some things there.
May Allah bring peace to the area.
I mean. Honestly, is all about, for me, bringing the experience and just more people to the area.
Yeah.
Just start with it and getting involved into.
It needs more work. It needs people
Yeah.
to actually go and teach properly,
Yeah.
give them real knowledge. You know, it's good to have motivational events and big events, conferences, things like that as a one-off.
Yeah.
But they need more substantial, infrastructure and schools, education.
Inshallah.
You know, because the problem is if you send them out of Africa to go and study in either Egypt or Saudi, they don't come back.
Yeah,
You know why? Because
know.
once they've got their degree from Medina, they can go anywhere.
yeah.
You know, they'll go South Africa and become an imam, get a decent wage. You know, why are they going to go back to West Africa when they can't get any money? You know, so this is one thing, Dr. Bilal. His vision is to educate people in their own countries.
Yeah.
Because then you avoid
Selfless,
that.
right?
Huh? Yeah,
Selfless,
yeah. Because you avoid that issue.
Yeah.
Because so many students go and study, they don't come back. They're not going to go back to Sierra Leone.
His Islamic university is.
But if you
very
teach
amazing.
if you teach them in
their
Sierra
country.
Leone or in Africa or in these countries, their degree is not worth anything outside of that country.
Yeah.
You understand? It counts.
use
They
it
have the
there.
knowledge, but they can't leave. Of course, you might say that's a bit selfish, but at the same time, the bigger vision is to educate,
develop the actual,
and the people educate and develop themselves. You know? So, inshallah.
Yeah, Sheikh Bilal is one of the. He's a pioneer, to be honest, in the Dawah in Africa, pioneer.
Yeah. I'm good friends with Dr. Bilal. He's really, he's a good mentor.
I was looking into. I think he set up a campus, right? There's a campus.
He's got a few, yeah. He's got many all over Africa.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Bismillah. So, Jan, inshallah, it was an honor to have you again.
And, I'm literally going to the airport now.
Bismillah. Hopefully you don't miss your flight.
What time is it?
Is 5 past 2.
And I need to go.
Inshallah. Anyway, barakallah fi. Khair to have you and Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. So guys, Jazakallah khair for listening. Hopefully we'll catch you another time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.